my mid-20s.
Right.
The first time I really came over here. You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me.
They don't.
And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be, because a whole place can't be like, you know, Weird Town, you know, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go into the house on the hill. And it's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. It couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like it. Could it? And then you find out later on the track that you were exactly on track. That some of your worst nightmares were real at the time. And you think, it does rip your life to pieces if you'll let it. And it's always pounding at the walls. These little guys, these little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head with a battering ram trying to like beat your walls in. It's cascading on you all the time. You can't get away from certain attitudes, from certain modes of behavior that this town and the industry dictate. No matter how strong you are going to be affected by this place. And I think it takes that kind of cockroach resilience to survive in this town. You have to make a deal with everyone else, and it's almost unspoken, that you are going to be fucked over at some point.
And we're back with Craig.
And a cat.
And a cat now. What's Cat's name?
Cat.
Cat? Is it like when you don't, like Charlie Kirk not showing his kids' faces on screen? You're like, you don't want to dox your kid there?
We named them when we first got them, and nobody called them anything but Cat. So that's just what they get called. I don't know what her name is. It's just Cat.
So it's just a lack of creativity in your family. Why his name is Cat? Gotcha.
Well, they always find, cats always find the one that likes them the least to make their own. And she found me to be that, because I was the only one that didn't want a fucking cat, let alone two cats. And this one found me to be her mother or something.
Yeah.
And so she always sits on me at night watching TV, and she has been trying literally since we started podcasting. And at some point I just gave up.
We're chill. We're chill here.
She's just here.
I mean, the more animals to invade, the merrier. I have several that sometimes visit. But we're gonna... So for those that are just tuning in now, we had our stream taken down by the Jews or something. I mean, that's allegedly. That's what somebody said in the comments. I was just responding to that.
Me, actually.
Craig took us down, or Craig said Jew? I don't know.
I said the Jews took us down.
Your beanie's too big, Craig. Now... somebody took us down. It was just an internet glitch, most likely. I'm joking, but we're just gonna pick up where not where we left off, but we're gonna go back to the beginning of where we're at. Is Thomas Massie just wiping the floor with Pam Bondi? We're gonna start over on that because we didn't get too deep into it, and then we will proceed from there. But thank you guys, whoever found us, because the powers that be do not want you to. Whether that's any indication toward, why we got taken down or not, I don't know. But we do know that they don't want you to hear what we have to say, because everything that Pam Bondi is about to say only proves that. But here is Thomas Massie. Again, this is the longest clip that we have, so they won't all be this long, and we'll get into a bunch more. Here is the best, and the man himself, just doing his job, throwing the ring into Mordor.
And from Kentucky is recognized...
May I respond very briefly to her statement?
Well, I think we can do that probably on one of our members' time.
Okay, thank you. I don't want that to get away. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Behind me, I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact. A list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email. in the document production.
You had
Literally
one job.
The worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting.
I mean,
phone
aside
calls.
from
A
rape.
lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking. Co-conspirator.
Really on the nose. Just
Fully redacted. And by the way...
So again, we're talking about their title. The title to the page that the FBI wrote is conspirator. What was it? What's the word?
Co-conspirators
To child sex trafficking. Pretty. I mean, you might say that's some sort of FBI code that our small brains just don't understand. But the FBI, who wrote that title, decided the names of these co-conspirators to that that bland of a title, they should be redacted.
Redact them here. Les Wexner is in this. Now, your your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over-redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see.
Just the fact that the DOJ said we are allowing congressmen to come in and view the unredacted files, completely unredacted files, the thing that they were ordered to do. And then they get there and there's any redacted files. Like, there's no reason to have any redacted files at this point. I mean, our congressmen the reason why they're allowed to view it is because they're super trusted. They were appointed to their position because of their trust, and our government can be trusted. Why are there any redacted files at all? You're breaking the law if there's one black bar in there at that point.
Yeah, but they just don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've made it very clear that, yeah, we know you told us this, and we don't give a shit what you say. Yeah, it was signed into law, but we don't give a shit.
Yeah, I had one of the conversations I had with some dude, well-meaning dude. He wasn't a boomer attacking me or anything. He just said, he commented on something that I posted, and he said something to the effect of, we should just pass a law that says that our elected officials are not allowed to lie to the American public. I was like, it's great and all, but dude, they eat babies. What do you think a law is going to do? Like, I think we're past that.
I think there's already laws against eating babies, but we still do that. But that's like saying, hey, we need to tighten up gun laws. It's like, it's already illegal to kill people, and then look where that's got us.
Yep. All right.
Because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
And if you were watching the show earlier, I mentioned, because I didn't catch it the first time I watched through, but Thomas Massie there, as he's setting this up. He's like, they're going to say that this isn't a thing because Les Wexner's name is in there thousands of times, and this is the only one redacted time. But that one redacted time is the one time that it specifically said he's a co-conspirator to child sex trafficking. Right. So maybe that was just an accident. That the most damning one is when you decided then we should cover it up. And he called her on it and said, "You're going to say that." And then the first words out of her mouth are, "Well, yeah, but Les Wexner was in there thousands of times."
Answer. Come on. Let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time. Mr. Chairman.
This is how this works.
Can I have my time back? Mr. Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer.
Shut up!
The time belongs to the gentleman from...
Silly woman. I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So, yes. I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that? It's a political joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
She's already like, this is a political joke and you'll see every single time she's asked a question, she filibusters and redirects and she's also really bad at redirecting. She's very used to being in front of the media where she can just be like, oh, that question you asked, I'm going to answer the question I want to answer, and I can shut you up by just snapping my boss bitch fingers. Now she's here before people who have authority over her, and she's like, you're being mean. You're shut up. And it's quite fun.
At least it's not like AOC or somebody like that, because she would have been like, you're only interrupting me because I'm a woman. And we would have gotten into this whole sexist debate on the floor.
Bro, again, we'll get to it, but she makes Jasmine Crockett look smart by the end of this. And if AOC... I don't know if AOC had anything to do in this, but if she did, I imagine she would have made AOC look smart, because Pam Bondi's got literally nothing. And, God bless her for doing the Lord's work of trying to protect pedophiles, but she's not great at her job.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
Red-handed? There was one redaction out of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
And we invited you in.
Within 40 minutes of you finding this, of you doing our job for us on your own against our will, and then threatening to put this out there, we were like, oh, hey, also, Les Wexner's in there. Like, oh, great. Most transparent administration of our lifetime.
Right. Well, then, like, how long does it take before people have already passed by that file and are on to the next of the 6 million? So it's just like, oh, there's a redacted name. Move on to the next one, and then they release, oh, and Les Wexner, and it's like, oh, we're past, like, how many people that are combing through these are already past that one at that point? They're just hoping, oh, maybe they didn't see that one.
And all the MAGA boomers are like, he gave us nothing. He gave us 6 names, whatever, 3 million. You call that a win? It's like, in 2 hours, he did the FBI's job better than them. That's what that means. Right. 6 people, 6 pedophiles better than the FBI was able to do with documents that they have had for decades. So, fuck you.
Not only that, but not only have they had them for decades, but how long did they keep kicking this football down the road? Just in the last year and a half. Oh, we're gonna release it. Oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. And he had 2 hours, and he's like, "Hey, there's 6 here," and they're like, "Oh, that's all you released."
With still redacted documents too.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what took them so long, was them. Did you see? I saw a meme right after the files got released a couple weeks or a week or so ago, and it was like, I think it was The Onion or whatever, one of those parody or whatever accounts, and it was like, the FBI realized after X amount of years of their existence that they've been using black highlighter all along.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Video.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get. You're a failed politician.
Gentlemen,
You need to
I
get
want
on
you to
things
watch
that
the
matter.
video.
Like, you caught me in a lie. She just immediately goes to Trump's. You have what did he say? Trump derangement syndrome. You're a failed politician. Like, it's such bitch shit. Even if she was in the right, this is bitch shit. And everybody knows that she's protecting pedophiles, and all she's got is, you don't like Trump, you jerk.
This is literally probably the worst defensive mode I've seen, at least in a long time, when it comes to a public forum, like a federal public forum of this type. It's like,
that's why when I started looking into these, I was like, oh, this is going to be the whole fucking show, because this bitch does not stop the entire way through.
Yeah, I've seen some really shitty back and forths where just people like slinging shit at each other. But this chick doesn't sound like she's ever had somebody tell her no in her life.
Yep. It's really one-sided, and the one side that's winning is everybody but her. Like, right, left, center, everybody's like, hey, but what about this? Hey, why do you hate Trump? Why didn't you hate Merrick Garland? It's like, can we focus a little bit? It's incredible deflecting. It's it's a feminist in conspiratard clothing.
Please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case.
What they're playing here is Cash Patel. Thomas Massie had them play this clip. It's Cash Patel saying that there is no credible evidence that Jeffrey Epstein conspired to traffic children to other people. And we'll see how that plays out.
Himself, there is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I'm reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim time
this
when
is
you don't.
bigger than Watergate.
When I don't answer a question
this
the way
goes
you want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
All right, we got to pause there because, in addition to that, we'll get to later a clip where she's like, I mean, the question that was asked is, what was the question that was asked? There was a lot to the question that was asked. But her saying that her answer being the complete deflection into, here's the number. You can call 1-800-I-got-raped, and the FBI will help you. And if anybody wants to come forward, they are welcome to. So my hands are tied. If you guys weren't coming forward, that's on you. There is an entire back row of witnesses in that room right now that are going to stand up later and raise their hand to say, I tried, and nobody responded. So it's just all around a historic moment that needs the attention that it deserves. And I feel like with these hearings that are coming out, we're going to need to do like an episode per hearing if all of them are just as flagrantly just bending over backward to protect pedophiles as Pam Bondi is doing right here.
No. At what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
May she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them. Hypocrite.
To do with this at all.
It never has anything to do with anything. And deep fake AI porn, okay, like that's a complete diversion from any of those accusations about rape, not porn, definitely not AI porn or the concerns of deep fake. I don't know what Massie voted for or against. I know that she is completely trying to just get the cat turds of the world to go, yeah, he did vote against that. And I'm sure it was baked into some like mega bloated bill that he was like, I'm not voting for this massive bill. And they're like, why are you voting for deep fake AI porn? And that's all they have when you're covering up for rapists.
Maybe Massie likes the deep fake AI porn.
I mean, it's no harm if it's not hurting anybody directly.
Rapists,
yeah,
there's
both. Definitely, the argument can be made that both are bad, but I would make the argument that one is. Yep. All right. Yep. I think we're on the same page. Let's continue.
The gentleman's time has expired.
You didn't answer the question.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, could she answer the question?
Chairman, I was wondering, the gentlelady's allowed, the Attorney General's allowed to respond the way she wants to respond to any member's questions, Republican, Democrat.
All right, I have unanimous consent request.
Gentleman's recognized for a UC.
All right. This is an example. I'm submitting these 302 forms that are entirely redacted, even when you go to look at them.
Without objection.
I'm submitting a witness statement that implicates...
Real quick, I want to say that I think that the entire Epstein thing is some sort of hoax. I think it's perpetrated not by the Democrats, but by Big Inc., because they're making a killing off of these files.
That's black highlighters, man.
Yep.
Les Wexner.
Without objection.
I'm submitting an article from the New York Times that the DOJ released nude photos and identifiable pictures of the victims. I'm submitting a letter from AG Bondi to Cash Patel, imploring him to quit keeping the files when you found out that they were keeping files from you, because they're still redacting files that you...
Chairman, are we going to recess for votes?
Yes, we are.
I'm submitting for unanimous consent a document of 17 individuals who've resigned because of the Epstein files.
Without objection.
All right, I think that's it for the Massie one.
Is a scary.
Yep. All right, so that's the Massie part segment of this Pam Bondi thing. I've got a bunch of scattershot people I don't even know. I don't even know what party they're for. I just know that they're asking very reasonable questions that Pam Bondi should be able to answer and cannot for the life of her answer a single one of them. But Craig, so far with this Massie stuff, just opening with that, what's your thoughts on who do you think's winning this debate between the people versus Pam Bondi?
I would say all the people. The people.
You are a misogynist and a Trump hater, and you're a jerk.
How did Pam Bondi get this job if it wasn't for equal opportunity or whatever we call that shit these days?
It was supposed to be Matt Gaetz.
What happened?
Matt, I don't know, but Matt Gaetz, I don't know that much about him, but he seems to be fairly based now that he's on his own. And Pam Bondi, we never heard really. And the fact that Matt Gaetz, I haven't heard really Matt Gaetz saying they got rid of me because of this. Maybe he did. I don't know. I don't follow Matt Gaetz that closely. But he seems more based than Pam Bondi by far. But it just seems weird that he was one of the guys that the like Republican libertarian coalition type folk who were like, we like people that are good. He was one of the names that were like, okay, good enough, better than, you know, anybody that Kamala would have put in there. But then he got pulled out and replaced with Pam Bondi.
She's great.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Clearly,
it was because of her stellar abilities to deflect and defend the truth that she was put in there instead of Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you're going to get this job and you're going to be the boss and nobody's ever going to question anything you say. So you're never really going to have to debate. You're never going to have to debate anything. Yeah, you're the boss bitch. And then when they call her to testify to Congress, and
she also wasn't smart enough to read the room and see that this was going to come down the pike at some point. And for all of the binder releases or whatever with no new information and the files are on my desk and there's no files and the back and forth, like I feel like she never thought it was going to come to the point where
she didn't. Where
Thomas Massie was going to make it a legal problem for her and them. I don't think any of them saw this coming, quite frankly. I don't think this would ever happen if there was a workaround that they could justify without complete public outrage at this point. I think their hand was forced by their own rules to some degree, and we all know they will break the law, but there are some things that are so public that they just can't push hard enough to be like, yeah, we're just going to still break the law. If they had just kicked the can down the road, if Pam Bondi had not released those fake binders or said the files were on her desk, or Kash Patel said that he killed himself, Dan Bongino also said he killed himself, Donald Trump said, why are we still talking about Epstein, that creep? We don't care about Epstein. Nobody cares about Epstein. If all of that hadn't happened and they just Joe Biden'd it and said nothing, they could have gotten away with it, but he can't shut up. I feel like if it's not completely all controlled, which I'm starting, like, Thomas Massie is much more of a white pill than anything, because after these files started coming out, I was like, man, it's definitely all controlled, and it's exactly what I thought. I don't think it's exactly what I thought, because if it were, then there's no way that Thomas Massie would be able to pull any of this off. And I understand some people's skepticism of Thomas Massie online, because I understand getting to the point where you're like, I don't trust anybody in Washington at all. But the guy who's just a guy, he's not Donald Trump, who speaks his mind and says the things that you like and says, I'm going to throw a Molotov cocktail into the system, but is also a elitist billionaire who has been on Jeffrey Epstein's island or hung out with him or whatever. Thomas Massie is just a guy from Kentucky who wants to make a difference. And he was like, here's how I can use the system against the system to force the system to do everything that the system doesn't want it to do. And here we are. It's quite remarkable. And the next clip, I'll give you a second, but the next clip is I think one of the biggest clips that just historically it might be. But any thoughts on my ramble there, Craig, or anything else so far?
No, I think we said last week the same exact thing, that I don't think anybody thought it would get to the point that it was actually getting released. When Trump was running on it, I don't think he ever thought that it would get to this point where, because so many people implicated, he's like, Congress isn't going to make me do this because that's going to implicate
not a
probably
chance.
half of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does. There's one guy that it doesn't implicate, though. You didn't, and that's why they're spending millions of dollars to try and unseat him currently.
Right. So, then we get to this point where there's now, signed into law that they must do this. It's like, I never in my wildest dreams would have saw that. Like, I thought for sure it'd just be a big, it is still just a big shit show, but I never thought it would get to the point where somebody's like, no, for real, we want to see these. We're not just saying we want to see the, like,
Thomas Massie has backed the demon system into a corner on his own. It's quite something.
It's hilarious is what it is, but because you had the Democrats, or you had the Republicans first that were like, oh, we got to release these, and like, we're not going to release these, and the Democrats, then when all of a sudden Trump's in office and he might get implicated, or he said, the way we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, the Democrats all of a sudden were like, oh, clearly he's afraid, we got to release him, and then the Republicans were like, no, there's nothing to see here. And Thomas Massie's like, for real, guys, you keep saying we need to release these. We need to release these, and then the Democrats were like, because they're so convinced, they're so hell bent on doing whatever it is to take down Trump, even shooting holes in their own ship. They're like, oh, Trump's name's on there, we're going after Trump because he doesn't want us to. This is the way we're gonna get him. And
it seems Thomas like a double backfire on both of them at this point, where like they're both calling it a win. Like, I see Trump supporters who are like, this completely exonerates Trump, and I do have a clip of that later, and I will show you why that's probably bullshit too. But the propaganda is strong on both sides, and I've even had some thoughts in my mind when I see like, oh, Trump's exonerated. I'm like, I can't break all these down. If somebody saw something that says Trump's exonerated, maybe he is, and then that's fine. I'm fine with that. I don't need Trump to be the most evil person. I'm not a Trump hater. I voted for him, in fact. I just wanted him to expose the pedos instead of covering up for them. But even if Trump is completely exonerated in all of these files, it doesn't change the fact that Donald Trump lied about them and tried his damnedest to cover them up. And it wasn't until Thomas Massie said, Fuck you. No, they are a thing. They're not a Democrat hoax. I'm not a Democrat, and I don't give a shit about what you call me. Right. I'm going to do this now because it's the right thing to do. And then a whole bunch of other people followed suit because he led and ran into the belly of the beast. And, it doesn't matter. Even if, great. Let's say all of the Epstein files are redacted tomorrow and it says Donald Trump was the number one guy who was fighting Epstein tooth and nail. It's like, so what changed when he got into office and suddenly had power to where he was like, who's this Epstein guy? That creep? Are we still talking about him? And I'm sure they'll say, well, it's 4D chess, and he was just trying to lure the Democrats into this reverse game of psychology. So he used raping children and legal cases about raping children as a political football. Still bad. There's no way to justify this. Right. And even on top of all of that, now the Democrats are like, this is a dunk on Trump, and Trump's like, this is a dunk on the Democrats, and the normal humans out here in society are like, get them, get each other, go. It's like watching like Godzilla fight King Kong on top of the city, and they're like, you're a pedophile, and we're just like, yeah, kill each other, please. And
it's like Hunger Games in reverse.
Yeah, and it's all because
amazing.
of Thomas Massie. It's amazing. It's history. Now, this guy, bless his heart, don't know who he is, don't know his name, don't know what party he's for. It doesn't matter what party you're for, or even if you are like a congressman or something. If you're anybody out there who has the opportunity to ask Pam Bondi the very simple questions that this guy is going to ask Pam Bondi, and she has this answer, then I'm on your side much more than I'm on hers. Here's I don't know who asking Pam Bondi a very tough question of, was Donald Trump at parties with Jeffrey Epstein when there were minors present? That's a very tough question. We'll see.
Former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous. And that they are trying.
I've heard enough, quite frankly. If you need 20 seconds to answer such a simple question, it's a yes.
I could literally hear the crickets.
Yeah, let's watch that one more time. Just beautiful.
At that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breath.
This
shake
is so
head.
ridiculous.
And then
they
deflect.
are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done.
Oh
there is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files.
I'm going to claim my time. I got your answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Chairman, please stop the clock.
Stop the clock. The legislation. This is
time. Time belongs to the gentleman.
It's ridiculous.
California.
Okay.
All right. Again, doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter who asked that question. If she has that answer, I've heard enough. From the Attorney General.
Ridiculous. Have you seen how amazing Donald Trump is?
It's exactly what Trump would say if he was asked that question.
Yes.
Why are we talking about this when I'm doing so well?
And then she goes, this is the most transparent president. He's the one that released the file. No, he's
by
not
force.
the one that released
by force.
Yes, yes.
Kicking and screaming.
By a freaking act of Congress, he released the...
By legal order.
What world do we live in where we have to pass a freaking bill in Congress to say...
Pedo's bad.
Just tell us who is committing these crimes.
Right.
Has this ever happened in history before now, where it's like, oh, there's this big scandal, this big crime? I mean, yeah. And
so that's what Thomas Massie said. He was like, this is bigger than Watergate. And it is like the gate thing that says conspiracy. The gate part that's put on the end of a word comes from Watergate. This is bigger than that, because Watergate was literally wiretapping phones. We've seen, They do that all over the place now. And now we're talking about raping people, murdering people of any age and gender. It's bigger. And these are the answers that we get in response to the very damning evidence, which I feel like is, because of the internet, way more damning evidence than anybody ever got for Watergate at the time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, here's another one from the same guy. I'm going to call him based-ass Chinaman in Congress, who had this to say. I don't remember, but
Chinaman. Can you say Chinaman?
I think if I say based ass before it, it
okay.
negates any stereotype. Anyway, this is from here on out. I'll set them up as much as I can, but it's kind of just a scatter shot of just Pam Bondi meltdowns, and it seems to be what the entire 3 hours was.
Because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center.
Such feigned outrage.
He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and the officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide.
Sorry.
No
Wrong button.
at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness.
Well, she was headless.
Immediately. Epstein should rot in hell. So should the men who patronized his operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
May I respond?
Yeah, I don't know how you respond. No one can.
I did not ask a question,
He
Ms.
doesn't
You're
want
allowed
to talk
to.
about
I did
the
not ask a
horrific
question.
crime in California. He does not want to talk about
I did not ask a
crime
question.
in his
You
state.
can't just
He's
ask this
going
stuff. I
after
did not
Donald
ask a
Trump.
question.
Meeting will be in order. The gentleman has yielded back his time. I think our next witness will be more than.
At the end there, they're like, I don't know how you respond to that. And he's like, well, I didn't ask her a question. I don't need to hear her. I don't need to hear what this bitch has to say. And she's like, well, I will respond. In his state, they have crime, and that over there in California, they have crime, and I need to she had to insist that she got that response in to say literally nothing at all.
She's allowed time because they clearly they have time limits they're allowed to.
She's
talk.
not if he didn't ask her a question.
Yeah, exactly. She is allowed time to answer a question, but the fact he didn't answer a question doesn't mean that the floor is not open to her, and that's why he was very clear to be like, didn't ask you a question.
And at some point, yeah, I mean. That Thomas Massie did that a few times too. And I like to see our politicians being like, nope, shut up. You don't. You're by our standards here in this pomp and circumstance. You are not allowed to speak. You've used that against everybody else. Now we're using it for truth, and you're gonna shut the fuck up and listen because I've yielded your authority and your ability to speak, bitch. And there's a lot of that in all this. Here's another guy.
That guy's angry.
Yeah, he is. And here's another Pam Bondiism.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
Now, again, before we play her answer, think about the simplicity of that question. Not even how many have been arrested, how many are we whatever. Just how many currently are we looking into? Now.
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my
it's
question.
A number.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're going to answer
theatrics
the
are
question
ridiculous.
the way I asked it.
Chairman Jordan.
Your theatrics are ridiculous. You asked me for a number, and now I'm going to start with, now let me begin by saying in the year, it's like, nope. And she's like, your theatrics are ridiculous.
I mean, she's
not
the head of the Department of Justice, correct?
Yeah, Attorney General.
She's a lawyer.
She's what?
Correct? She's a lawyer by trade.
Yes.
You don't
believe so,
become
yeah.
attorney general without being an attorney. So she knows how trials work, where like she sat in enough trials where they ask a question like, how many times did you
I don't remember who it is, but there's literally somebody in these clips that makes the exact same point and is like, you're a lawyer, right? You know how this works. Shut the fuck up.
It's like, I ask how many, you tell me how many. I don't need anything else. I don't want the workaround. I don't want the runaround. How many? It's a simple answer.
A number.
How many? If it's 0, then
use your
say
fingers
0.
if you need to. I'm sure you can probably fit all of them on your 10 digits.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people, but I'm going to answer the question.
How many of you
Get in the gutter with these
Again,
people.
the time belongs to the
This is beneath me.
The time belongs.
I think it's very interesting.
my time.
I think it's very
Reclaiming my time.
interesting
You can
that
reclaim
he
your
talks
time,
about
but
they
reclaiming my time,
indicted.
Mr.
The
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted
clock.
him.
Anytime a woman says, I think it's very interesting that they're about to say some of the dumbest shit you've ever heard.
Mr. Chairman, please stop the clock and restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The time belongs to the
and
gentleman
reel back
from
the
New
clock,
York.
please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when
Reclaiming
you ask
my-
a question, the witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like the answer, Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest. So he
Yeah, just give the answer. It's a number. It's not all these words.
asked a 4-minute question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I am
Mr. Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
Answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch. Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I
anything,
did tell you because we
washed
saw
up
what you did in the
loser
Senate.
lawyer.
And I told you, Attorney General. Yeah, he's like, we're not going to be filibustering. And I told you before we started, you don't tell me nothing. It's like, it's such emotional bitch shit.
It's so it's such fake emotion too. Like it's like
it's
fake
feigned outrage because you're cutting me off, but we're talking about covering up for raping children. So feign all the outrage you want. You don't have the moral high ground here.
I love.
And yes,
that
it's because you're a woman. Go ahead and say it. It's fine.
I love that he named it what it was, filibustering.
Yep.
It wasn't beating around the bush. Like, you were literally just trying to eat up his time on the clock. That's all you're doing.
Every time.
You're not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time, and I should get back at least 45 seconds.
We will give you a few more seconds. I
Not a
said that
few more,
already.
45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr. Nadler. Go
All
ahead.
right.
My time.
Yeah, we're
The
trying
answer
to deal
my
with this
question,
bitch.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators as she indicted is 0. You have been the Attorney General for a whole year, and your DOJ fired the lead prosecutor of this case, sat on evidence this entire time, and claimed falsely last July that there were no more leads. It took an act of Congress for you to finally release part of the Epstein files, and when you did, you included personal information about the victims while protecting the names of abusers.
Time of the gentleman
None
has
of the perpetrators have
expired.
been brought to justice, but enormous resources
Time
have
of
been
the
dedicated
gentleman
to
has
pursuing Trump's
expired,
enemies.
and
It's
obviously
clear
there
that
was-
under your leadership, the Department of Justice
There
no
was
longer
no
works for
question
American
in there.
people. It works
Order
for Donald
respond to.
Trump. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.
All right, that's it for that one. Oh, I think we pretty well covered the bits, but if you got any other thoughts on that one, go ahead. If not, we'll move along because there's plenty more.
Keep going.
Just keep them rolling.
Let them roll.
Here's somebody else saying something to Pam Bondi and her saying something stupid.
Do you know which presidential administration under which the PIN was first created?
I can tell you what administration that the weaponization was ended under.
I'll reclaim my time. This wasn't a trick question.
You don't get to reclaim your time.
Madam Attorney General,
because I don't like a
First off, I just love his response there because I'm sure at this point he's heard this happen so many times. He's just like, fuck this. I don't even know what he's talking about. Do you know what the pin or the pen or whatever he's saying is? I don't either. It doesn't matter, but he's like, under what administration was this created? And she was like, why don't we talk about, again, see the rule book. As soon as a woman says, how about we talk about something different? She's like, how about we talk about what administration it was ended under? So she's just pivoting back to, yeah, it might have happened under something that I don't want to talk about. I don't even know what it is. I don't care. I don't have an opinion on this. But she just goes right back to, let's talk about how great Donald Trump is. No matter what the situation is, let's talk about what Donald Trump is doing right on fill in the blank issue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
explain to the witness that he did?
And his response, I'm going to play his
Turn
response
this up
again.
a little bit.
I can't. This one's pretty quiet.
Oh.
It's up as loud as it goes. I might be able to turn up over here. Let's see.
What administration that the weaponization was ended under?
I'll reclaim my time. This wasn't a trick question.
I like just the side, but I'll reclaim my time. This wasn't a trick question, you dumb bitch. Just fucking answer it.
Madam Attorney General,
Because I don't like
Mr. Chairman, will you explain to the witness that he does reclaim his time?
Because I don't answer a question to your satisfaction.
Because you don't answer a question at all.
You don't answer any question.
Right. The satisfactory answer would be an answer, not a deflection.
The time belongs to the gentleman from Colorado.
the president under which PIN was created was Gerald Ford. It was created after Watergate. I'm not asking a question, Madam Attorney General. The administration under which it was created was Gerald Ford. When you first started as the Attorney General of the United States, there were 35 people working in that office. There are now 2 people working in that office because you have gutted it. How many people work for the national cryptocurrency?
So he was about to say it was created after Watergate, I think. So I still don't know what it is, but something. And he's talking about how there's nobody in that. Again, I don't know if this is like when people bring up certain issues to her, I don't know if it's something even that I agree with, because these people disagree with me on a lot of things, I'm sure, but they agree on one thing. But having to do with Watergate, I would imagine I don't know. Somebody educate us in the comments section if you want to on what he's talking about here. But he's like, it was created under Watergate, and then he moves on to talk about something else.
How many people work for the national cryptocurrency enforcement team in the criminal?
The crypto stuff, which I've worked with a lot of guys who are and have been in prison for the crypto stuff. I'm not a big crypto guy, but that's a big thing that Trump ran on too. Absolutely. And so he's bringing up crypto stuff, and he's talking about why there's nobody left after she got in there and their campaign made this a big issue.
Can I answer the question about PIN?
I've asked you a question. How many people work?
So he moves on to another question. She's like, I like that other question better now that you've asked me a second question that I don't want to answer. So she tries to pivot back to the first question.
But you don't
how
want
many
the
people
answer.
work for the national cryptocurrency enforcement team? You won't answer how many
I'll
people?
answer PIN.
I want to answer.
You know what? You know what?
I don't know if you can hear it because it's pretty quiet, but there's audible laughter in the background when she's like, I'll answer PIN. I'll answer the other thing now. Jesus, what's wrong with you?
You know what?
What's funny about this?
I'll say to the chairman.
What's funny about this?
You know what the answer is? And I think I understand why the Attorney General does not want to answer the question. Because you eliminated the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team last year. So I understand why you don't want to tell the American people who works there.
Yeah, I understand why you don't want to talk about
Attorney
Mohammed Solomon in
General.
your district.
In any event,
Mr. Chairman, will you stop the clock so he...
Oh, you want to ask about crypto? No, I don't want to. I'll answer the other question. Oh, you don't want that answer? Well, what about Mohammed such and such in your district? Because Muslims bad. It's like just buzzword. Trump derangement syndrome. What happened is, like I said, literally no question is answered that I've seen in this entire ordeal.
That's insane. Like,
yes,
I've seen a lot of redirect in my days.
Are you able to turn up a little bit real quick? Because you seem a little bit quiet. Yeah.
What the hell? I wasn't. I haven't changed anything.
That's fine. You see it. Either you've gotten quieter or...
How about now?
That's good. Yeah.
Okay. I have never seen so much redirect in my entire life.
Yep.
Like such...
And I'm on my second marriage, and I haven't even seen this much redirect. All right.
This is a joke. This has got to be a joke. It's just got to be.
You would think so. Like if you wrote down these conversations as an SNL sketch to make fun of these people, it would still play. It would play exactly the same as anything SNL is doing. All right, this next one is, I think she's asked about Lutnick in this one, but her response is the biggest thing. Nope, I gotta give you audio. Here we go.
Was the president aware of Secretary Lutnick's ties to Epstein when he chose him to lead the Department of Commerce? Was he aware?
Chris Malin was a Border Patrol agent.
Okay, so I'm going to conclude that the president, in fact, did know about his ties because he was the next door neighbor.
Shame on you.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
You're
this
from
is
a tiny,
pathetic.
beautiful
This is
state.
pathetic, Mr.
Committee
Chair.
will be in order.
I am not asking trick questions here. The American people have a right to know the answers to this. These are senior officials in the Trump administration. This is not a game, Secretary.
I'm Attorney General.
My apologies, I couldn't tell.
All right.
Damn. First of all, I've got to think now. I just realized what's happening. She has a notebook full of one-liner insults for each member of Congress that she's like, oh, what's this?
What do I have in
person?
this? What do I have in this? She just got like
she doesn't know him.
three tweets worth of dirt on everybody so that she has something to say to everybody.
That's literally all she's doing while they're answering the question is like scrolling down through their name and it's just like, what about so-and-so of the freaking such a Border Patrol in your state? That's literally been every response to everybody.
All the way back to Massie, the very first one. Yeah. Immediate, not even in his state, but it's like immediately she's like, oh, it's not working. He's got Trump derangement syndrome and he's a failed politician. It's like, it doesn't seem like he's a failed politician. No. It seems like he's the only successful politician, actually. And the rest of the failures are the ones that are attacking him. Like you, bitch. All right. And yeah. That smackdown there at the end, she accidentally called her secretary, and she said, "I'm not secretary, I'm attorney general." And she's like, "I'm sorry, I couldn't tell." It's like, yep.
That's fantastic.
Call me catty, but you know. And again, I don't know what side or who any of these people are. I just know that they're asking the same question I would ask and having the same response that I would have, and it doesn't matter if it's just because they're a Democrat and hate Donald Trump. They're asking the right questions. You gave it to them. All right. Let's see. We are past that. Sorry, I've got like a big long list here. Oh, here is Pam Bondi. After everything and all of this, I don't know if I even want to say what card she pulled, but she pulls a card, and let's see if you can catch it.
Didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once. When he was
weak sauce.
And also, I want the record to reflect that, you know, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Oh,
he is
Jewish.
I just want to be clear.
Do you want to go there, Attorney General? Or do you want to go there? Are you serious? Talking about anti-Semitism to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust? Really?
Long card.
The committee will be in order.
Talk to Jared Wise about anti-Semitism.
The ranking member knows it. Can I get like 30?
All right, it's not often. It's not often that somebody plays the, you can't say that because I lost somebody in the Holocaust. It's usually used to prove that you are an anti-Semite if you are disagreeing with somebody. It's rarely used to be like, don't you fucking call me an anti-Semite because I lost somebody in the Holocaust. That's fine. You go right ahead and do that. And just the on the nose flagrant nature of, we'll just slip in there. And I think the anti-Semitic nature of this, like, bitch, come on. Like, you're in the hole, and she's just grasping at anything that she can.
She did her homework on every single one of Congress, and she threw out the anti-Semitic
missed it.
Against the one person there that lost grandparent in the Holocaust.
Oh,
it's like, oh shit! You could just see on her face. She's like, "Damn it, wrong one."
I feel like I'm not going to go back to it, but I feel like if you check the tape, she doesn't look down at her notes before slinging that mud. She's just like, "It's anti-Semitic. I don't have anything else." And then she chose the one person who's like,
"I'm doing
nope.
great. I'm going on." She's like, "I'm doing great. I'm going off the cuff for this one."
Yep.
It's like, back to the notes.
This usually works. Why isn't this working right now? Shit. All right. Here is the survivors. There's another clip with the survivors, I think, in addition to this one that I'm not sure if I have pulled, but it might be this one. Let's see before I throw myself under the bus. But there's a better one that I don't think I have pulled. Maybe I do. Let's see.
To the survivors in the room.
if you are willing.
Also, keeping in mind that Pam Bondi's response earlier was, if there are any survivors that need to say anything, they should reach out. Here's my number at 1-800-bitch-whore for the Illuminati.com.
Please stand. And if you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice.
All of them.
Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand. Attorney General Bondi, you apologized to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
Congresswoman, you sat before Merrick Garland sat in this chair.
Attorney General Bondi,
no, can I finish my
No, I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked you a specific question that I would like you to answer, which is, will you turn
let her talk.
to the survivors?
She's digging her own hole.
Anybody that came before you, it is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Simple ask.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness get to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
that's
respond.
Not accurate, Mr.
Let her cook. She's doing great so far.
So,
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked
didn't she ask Merrick Garland this?
I am reclaiming my time, and when I reclaim my time, it is
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady's reclaimed her time.
I'm not going to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
The time belongs to
In the
time
gutter.
belongs to the gentlelady. The gentlelady has 17
Her theatrics of a very simple question.
seconds.
Thank you. You're not going to answer this question, so let me just
Chairman,
say
I'll direct it to
what a
you.
massive
No, I'm
cover-up.
answering a
Mr.
question.
Chairman, will you restore her time? The witness is interrupted.
I'm not going to get in the gutter with this woman.
Stop the
She's
time
doing theatrics.
and let me have my time.
The gentlelady from Washington controls the time. The gentlelady has 17 seconds. You can proceed with your final 17 seconds.
What a massive cover-up this has been and continues to be. Donald Trump made the release of the Epstein files the center of his political campaign because he thought it would benefit him. Then you got into office, Attorney General, claimed to have a client list, only to then say that there was no list. Your deputy, Todd Blanche, met alone with Elaine Maxwell and transferred her to a minimum security prison. And now you continue the cover-up, and I wish that you would turn around to the survivors who are standing right behind you and on a human level,
Chairman,
Chair now recognizes the chair.
And what you have done.
Time.
This bitch is on. I don't know who she is, but she is fired up.
That's the thing. It's not that suddenly Democrats have a change of heart, because the same argument they use against Donald Trump of against Thomas Massie of why weren't you bringing this up when Biden was in office, like it can work even more so for them when Biden was in office. Why weren't you bringing it up if you are a Democrat? But again, I don't care why. If you just want to make political waves, and the political waves happen to get the humans out here in the real world who aren't trying to sell their soul to the devil, it just happens to be the popular opinion amongst the masses that it is the championing position now to expose this bullshit. No matter what side you're on, like the government never does anything for us. They do things, and sometimes the breadcrumbs trickle down to us. Now, Thomas Massie, I feel like of any of them is one of us, and we have the zeitgeist shift to it is not like for whatever reason you want. I don't care. It is no longer popular to support covering up pedophiles and rapists and murderers and potential alleged baby eaters. It's no longer popular. It's a day of celebration. And we've got, applaud the Democrats when they're right. And if Trump comes out tomorrow and he's like, hey, we need to hang all the baby eaters in the street, I'd be like, hell yeah, Trump, let's go. But until then, why did you cover it up? And why is your entire administration bending over backward to not answer a question?
Mm-hmm. If Trump came out and hung every single one of them that was guilty, would you vote for him for a third term?
Yeah. I can have my mind changed. Yeah, I mean, I had my mind changed to vote for him, and then I was like, oh, shit, no. And I've seen a lot of bad, and he's definitely lied and done some terrible things. Mm-hmm. If he came out and ran on that, oh, man. No, maybe not. Maybe I would still not, because at that point, if Donald Trump is calling for that, then there's definitely somebody better who is calling for more than that. And it also doesn't have a track record of, dealing, like having close personal relationships with pedophiles. So probably still no. If the zeitgeist, if the entire culture has shifted to the point of calling for that, and that is a winning strategy, then there's definitely somebody better than Donald Trump that's running on that already.
Wouldn't that mean also that Donald Trump would have to publicly hang himself?
Yes.
Most likely.
Yeah, I will vote for him if he says, if you vote for me, I will do this. And I'm not going to say what that is, but if he did that, if he offered to do that, that might be. That's it. That's the line for me at this point. That's how Donald Trump can get me back. I'm going to hang all the pedophiles up to and including anyone and everyone in this campaign.
Yes.
Yep.
Just on Inauguration Day, he just...
Thank you. He swears in, and then he ties his white collar Illuminati necktie. But let's see, what do we have else here? Here's Dan Goldman, who I don't know. I mean, definitely Israeli leaning last name, but he's asking some good questions, and let's see what he has to say.
To Ghislaine Maxwell. I also found an email that I have right here from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell that was unredacted. And it included notes of statements that Donald Trump made about his prior relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, there is no reason for this to be hidden from the American people. There is no privilege, there is no attorney-client privilege, and I see you're checking with your staff, and I can assure you, staff...
She literally looks over her shoulder and then turns back chuckling. This is, I think this is an email between Jeff and Ghislaine about somebody else, and he's like, this is not attorney-client privilege, and you see her, a lawyer, the attorney general, look over her shoulder to confirm, and then she looks back chuckling.
Now, there is no reason for this to be hidden from the American people. There is no privilege, there is no attorney-client privilege, and I see you're checking with your staff, and I can assure you, staff, this is not under attorney-client privilege because it was sent from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. Will you commit to publicly providing the unredacted version of this so that the American people can understand the extent of Donald Trump's lies about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
Now, Craig, before we get into her probably insightful response, that question was, will you commit to telling people the truth about Jeffrey Epstein? Is basically what that breaks down to. Any guesses on what her response is going to be?
Something about his state. And
you're about as good of a lawyer today as you were when you tried to impeach President Trump in 2016. Have you apologized for that in 2019?
So will you unredact this? Will you
You're
unredact
lead
this?
counsel on that. Privileged.
I'm asking you, will you unredact this?
Privileged.
Privileged, of course.
Now, we've seen people in the past be like call privilege on every question that they don't want to answer. She's not doing that. She's trying to play the boss bitch and still have her zingers to throw back at him. She's not just saying, no, I'm not going to answer that. That's privilege. She's going to be like, well, you're a jerk and you didn't like Trump once. And yeah, if you go back, check the tapes, any episode of the show when they were impeaching Donald Trump the first 12 times or whatever the fuck, we were on his side saying, hey, this is bullshit, because clearly that didn't happen. The Russiagate stuff, the piss tape stuff, all the allegations, Stormy Daniels, all that stuff, bullshit. This, though, isn't. And that she's being asked about this, and she's like, why did you do that other stupid thing? And I mean, that's I bet that's a real winning strategy amongst MAGA supporters,
right?
To be like, remember when you were against us? Yeah, but also remember when like people like you and I were for you before the whole pedo stuff that you were pushing for in your campaign to come out? You said it was all fake? It's just such maddening bullshit and such Weasley bullshit. Any thoughts on that one, Craig? Because another thing there, did she say, will you apologize there? I think she did.
Absolutely,
yeah.
She did.
Because I meant to have that one come out of the last one where she was asked to apologize to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein behind her that she has wronged, and she said nothing. And then she's like, will you apologize to Donald Trump for when you, didn't like him?
I mean, she in the very least could have been like, I'm sorry for what you went through. She wouldn't even address, she wouldn't even look at them. She's like, nah, they're not really there.
Yep.
It's really gross.
Do you remember
how she's handled this whole thing?
Do you remember when Donald Trump in his campaign brought out all the Bill Clinton victims as part of his campaign strategy? So you can't even call it out as like a kitschy whatever gotcha thing, because your entire administration got elected because of this type of propaganda of bringing victims forward to be like, hey, you're wrong. But unfortunately this time everybody's implicated, including Bill Clinton. But here is another Pam Bondiism. I don't think that this one has a lot of context. I told you this is gonna be I don't know.
Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump, all of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump? You all should be apologizing. You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. Have you apologized?
She's not going to have it. She's not going to put up with it. It's like she thinks she's at a press conference and not a court hearing where she is the criminal.
What in the world is she do? Like, what are you talking about?
I feel like, let's break this down a little bit. Like, Pam Bondi got appointed by Trump over Matt Gaetz, and then Pam Bondi was like, I got this. And then Pam Bondi never expected to be in this position. Did Pam Bondi sit down with Donald Trump and he's just like, say the things that I said on the campaign trail, is it just her that she's so used to being able to shut people down with her boss bitch snap and whatnot? Or is it like, so I'll say I've been pretty black-pilled. I'll say it again. Been pretty black-pilled since the Epstein stuff came out, but stuff like this coming out where it's very clear that the elites who are in charge of everything are fucking retarded, that's when I'm like, okay, we can work with this. We can work with this because, all the boomers who are defending Donald Trump to the ends of the earth, it's like, you can keep bending over until you snap, but at some point you're going to snap, and it's going to be quite a sight to see, because I can't even imagine being a Benny Johnson or a Tim Pool or anybody who's still like carrying water for Donald Trump after all the Epstein files come out, still trying to be like, trust me as a respected journalist, and then maybe you can get through that hurdle and the Israel hurdle and all these hurdles, but then when Pam Bondi does this, it's like... if we keep getting these piled on because Hillary Clinton's supposed to do it, Bill Clinton's supposed to do it, we're supposed to be getting a lot of these. And if we do, and they keep going this way, then I couldn't be more white-pilled, because that gives me hope. Because one man is doing this. One man is behind all of this, and it's Thomas Massie, and it's forcing all of these demons to come forward and be like, I have nothing to say for myself other than you're a jerk and a big meanie head, and I don't like you.
Now, how long ago did Pam Bondi get subpoenaed for this? Do you have any idea?
I don't.
It doesn't even freaking matter whether it was like a month or a couple days or
I mean, she was
years.
promising
Like,
it
wait.
long before she got subpoenaed, so yeah.
So Pam Bondi gets subpoenaed, and literally all she does to prepare for her trip to Congress is dig up dirt on it. That's how you know
The Dow
you're gonna
Jones
fucking
is
lose.
up. The stocks are up. Trump's doing great.
You know you're gonna fucking lose this. You know that. Oh shit, I fucked up. Let me redirect. I mean, because that's all politics has been in this country for at least probably 20 years now. That's all every presidential election has been. It's just like, well, I know you say I'm a scumbag, but did you see the thing that you did that one time?
Did you know you're a scumbag too?
That might work on the freaking political debate stage, but that does not work when you are like testifying to Congress about the most horrendous thing that could possibly be on the docket to talk about right now. And you spent how many days or weeks, literally your defense you wrote up, or the statement, like literally you spent more time digging up dirt for every single one of those senators that's asking questions than you spent on the fucking Epstein files.
Then you spent on coming up with answers to even if you're an evil bitch, which you are, you spent more time on coming up with dirt than you spent on coming up with good redirects or good answers to questions that you should know are going to be asked if you're not insane.
Like one of the most predictable questions they ask is, are you investigating any of these people?
Shut
Come
up.
with something.
Why do you hate Trump?
You could have said, I cannot answer this because this would impede on an ongoing investigation. Like, that's a safe answer.
Yeah.
That's a safe fucking answer.
It's what everybody's done for decades. Yeah.
Most chief of police give when they're giving their freaking like public address or whatever on TV. They're like, so what's going on with this? It's an ongoing investigation. We can't talk on this right now.
Yep. She doesn't even have that. It's like she didn't even get briefed by like intelligence. She got briefed by Donald Trump, and Donald Trump gave her his best arguments, and that's all she has to work with.
Donald Trump's like, look, I got this. She probably didn't even come up with that dirt. He's like, I got this notebook.
Yep.
He's like, I got dirt on everybody. I've been spending.
Here's 35 tweets. You don't need anything else. Just call them bitches, and it'll be fine.
Yep. Like, I printed off my Twitter posts over the last
pretty much.
year. Here, just read these.
Like half the responses she gives, if they were printed out and put on Donald Trump's Twitter, it would still read. Like it's like they're direct Donald Trump quotes, or she's just channeling him. Here is somebody else I don't know who's asking Pam Bondi a very difficult question.
The same level of facility, I don't know why. But, you know, instead of talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, who hopefully will die in prison, you should be talking about Irina Zarutska.
I have a couple of
died on a subway.
Right, and I absolutely...
You don't talk about that.
I have been talking about it and actually helping with these issues. But we're going to move back to you.
I bet we are.
Yes, of course, because you're here to testify. That's what the whole point of this endeavor is. So, of course, we're moving back to you. It is all about you.
Yeah, I bet we're talking about me. She's just a TikTok girl. That's all she is in politics. And she's like, of course we're going to talk about me at my hearing. Yeah, that's the only reason we got you out of bed this morning, was to come talk about you and the problems that you should be able to answer. Yeah.
And she's like, no, we'll talk about that on some other time. Can we talk? Of course. Of course.
Oh, you want to talk about Epstein and my involvement in Epstein cover-ups? Oh, it's so yesterday.
Like a narcissistic ex-wife conversation.
Uh-huh. Or current president conversation. Are you still talking about this Jeffrey Epstein? Like,
of course we're going to talk about that again.
It's not just deflection. It's like, you're stupid if you dare think there's anything here.
Right.
Now, I think that might be it for Pam Bondi. We do have to have Massie's follow-up to this. Here's coming out of the court. And you can leave whenever you need to. It's fine. But here's Massie coming out and his response.
I provided the evidence today that shows that his statements were false under oath. Kash Patel's statements were false. They are in possession. They were in possession at the time, and they're still in possession of evidence that other men participated in the sex trafficking.
Attorney General Bondi didn't seem to directly answer that question. I mean, what do you make of what she did say?
She didn't answer anything. She came here just ready to talk about the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, which seems kind of crazy to me.
Even still, it's just Thomas Massie in his Kentucky gentleman way being like, I don't know what that was, but and then if you look online, everybody's like just rabid. Literally, I shared a tweet earlier today that was like, rabid, angry Thomas Massie like goes off on like they're still trying to frame it as Thomas Massie is in the wrong and he's just crazy. And he comes out of the court and he's just like, yeah, I think that there were some she didn't answer any questions and I would like to get to the bottom of this. Like, he's just so not simple. He's like an IT major. He's like a genius. He lives off grid because he built his entire farmstead and like has like a chicken coop. He calls it the Klux capacitor that moves the chicken coop around on its own so it can fertilize things. The dude's a fucking genius, and also just like, yeah, I just wish they would do their job, and I wish I would have to do their job for them. Like, he's drawing his sword politely and being like, nope, here's how I can use the system to do everything that it needs to be doing, and how I can force you guys to tell on yourselves. And my God, has there been anybody who has ever told on themselves harder than Pam Bondi? Even from the first question, was Donald Trump ever on the island with underage people? Well, Merrick Garland, like, it's insane the times that we're living in, because all of this is on full display, and everybody is attacking Thomas Massie right now for being a do-nothing grandstander, while you have Pam Bondi that they will defend, because Massie was rabid.
Can we play devil's advocate a little bit? Is there any way that Pam Bondi didn't know why she was going there?
It would be tough. I mean, we played devil's advocate back in the Pizzagate days. It's getting tougher and tougher to play devil's advocate because the devil is fucking retarded. Which gives me more hope, because it means that the devil isn't really fully in charge yet. The devil is fucking retarded all around and has no answer to anything.
Pam Bondi gets her subpoena and she gets excited. She's like, oh, I get to go speak in front of Congress. She doesn't read literally any of the rest of it. And then she shows up totally unprepared. She's like, well, why are we just talking about me, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? Why don't we talk about the great things Donald Trump's done?
Let's talk about Trump.
Let's
he's
talk
doing
about
great.
the bad things that you've done in your state. Let's talk about, have you apologized to Donald Trump for impeaching him, guys?
Yep. This is why I told you, I like having you and Dave coming in blind and just being like, holy shit. Like, it's rare that I have a holy shit moment where it's just so maddening that there's no way to even know how stupid it is until you just lay it all out. I do want to, before we go, I'm not going to bring up articles or anything. I just had some Epstein horror stories that have been out there. There's one where anally raped a child till bleeding. There's one where they played certain music because a child was so young that they would suck harder if they heard certain music. There's Harvey Levin from TMZ who Epstein said would be a perfect person in the media to get on his side because he will do whatever you want. Kurt Cobain's death was a homicide. Michael Jackson.
Part of the Epstein? Was that part?
I don't
the
know. Look into it. We don't have time for it, but there's Kurt Cobain's death that we could do an entire episode on. Michael Jackson's death that we could do an entire episode on. Apparently, the suicide tapes of Jeffrey Epstein were deleted, and that's their words that the tapes were deleted now. The footage also was wiped, and we're just that's it. That's the catch-up.
One thing you failed to mention was how Donald Trump actually talked to the FBI about how nasty of a human.
Yep.
Did you see that one?
Yes, I do have that. Let me pull that up because I do have. That's the argument that I've seen a lot. I did want to bring that up. That Donald Trump actually is a hero because back in 2006 he convinced or he told the FBI that Jeffrey Epstein was bad.
Yes.
I can't find the clip, but
they make it seem like he was like one of the first to report Jeffrey Epstein, but it was like, oh, you're investigating this guy? Oh, good. He's gross.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's about it.
Well, it's worse than that. They're like he reported in 2006 because Donald Trump in 2019, right after Jeffrey Epstein was arrested, said, I didn't like that guy. No, like he reached out to me. Like they're saying because, and fact check me. We're not reporters, journalists, whatever. But fact check me if I'm wrong. But I remember exactly when Donald Trump said the thing that they're using as evidence that he's innocent. They're saying he's exonerated because he said he was a gross guy and I kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, blah, blah, blah. That was in 2019, the year that Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. I think after even, it's dated on the document, after Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. So when the media is all being like, hey, who's involved in this? Is Donald Trump involved in this? He was like, he made a statement. He made a statement to the FBI. The FBI reported it. They put it out there. It's in the Epstein files of Donald Trump saying, oh, that was a gross guy. It's no different than Bill Gates saying, oh, yeah, I wouldn't ever work with him again. And then Melinda divorces him. Or what's his face? Lutnick being like, yeah, I did. Yeah, I said that I would never work with him again or never see him again. And then 10 years later, I was having lunch with him and my 12 children on his island. And it's like, again, I want to be proven wrong. I hope that there's something in these files that say Donald Trump was the takedown agent of Jeffrey Epstein. I just haven't seen it. All I've seen is Donald Trump, after Jeffrey Epstein got arrested, said,
well, they said
back in 2006, I kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, and I said that he was evil, and I contacted people or whatever. I'm just not seeing it. And it also doesn't negate anything else that's in there about Donald Trump that Pam Bondi has a really hard time answering any question to.
Yeah, that about sums it up. Yeah, I feel like people go on record to say, like, they get out in front, like, maybe he did say something to the FBI back in 2006, like, oh, he's gross. But
because he saw the writing on the wall.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that was shortly before Epstein's first arrest, which was, what, 07, 08, somewhere in there. And there was already an ongoing investigation. It wasn't like he brought some breaking information.
Yeah, he
broke the case.
The Avenger who took him down is how they're playing it up.
So I did see this. I wanted to read. Let me see. Here we go. Ready for this one. This was a comment on a New York Post article. I don't even know. I didn't even save the article. I just read this comment. If this was a movie, The Dark Knight, unfolding before our eyes, the Batman, the President of the United States, is Donald J. Trump. Bruce Wayne.
Oh.
Donald J. Trump is Bruce Wayne. Jeffrey Epstein is the Joker. The only question remains, who is Harvey Dent? Pam Bondi's Harvey Dent.
Who cares who's Harvey Dent? Like, Donald Trump's not the Batman. And Jeffrey Epstein also isn't the Joker.
No, because the Joker was kind of more right than we care to admit to.
I mean, maybe Donald Trump's the Joker. I can give him that, and then maybe Thomas Massie's Batman, because he's literally, well, I mean, Batman was like a billionaire, whatever. So maybe there's a better comparison there. I don't know, but definitely boomer cringe analogy. And for everybody who's mentioned in the Epstein files and everybody who's not, I just want to remind everybody once again, and I'm going to keep doing this, that the most important person that's mentioned in the Epstein files is Ron Paul, because said about Ron Paul was, any conceivable GOP candidate, with the exception of Ron Paul, will be far friendlier to Israel than the current administration. And also, the Republican presidential candidates, with the exception of the anti-war libertarian Ron Paul, have seized on Iran as a possible winning issue and have blah, blah, blah. The best you see, the media is like, I mean, I've seen a few posts that are like, yeah, but Ron Paul's in there too. And it's like, Ron Paul's in there because they're like, we can't fucking manipulate this guy. No matter how hard we try, he still keeps being a human.
Literally anybody else we could throw in there and use them and control them, except for Ron Paul.
Harvey Levin, Elon Musk would have taken the invite if he were given it. But yeah, Ron Paul, they've got not only nothing, the only thing that they have is he's not going to play ball. And I feel like
anti-nothing.
Yeah, if we got like the Future's Epstein files, I feel like Thomas Massie's name would be all over it for being like the only guy trying to do anything against it. Like infinitely more times than Ron Paul's name on this batch of Epstein files, Thomas Massie for doing what he's doing. I mean, Ron Paul didn't know. No, nothing against Ron Paul. If he were in Thomas Massie's position, I think he would do the exact same thing. And there are very few who would. So if you want to get on the next Ron Paul revolution, and you were waiting for a savior, I don't know that there is one, and it's probably not Thomas Massie. He's not going to save anybody, but he's the only person doing anything, just like Ron Paul was. And all we want as the human species is for somebody to do anything to stop people, demons, from consuming, raping, murdering children, or even adults. Man, woman, children of any age, race, or gender, doesn't matter. So just stop doing that. Evil satanic monsters and probably cannibals who harvest adrenochrome to further their lifespan. But Craig, any final thoughts before we leave?
I think at this point, about the only one I am 100% fully convinced is not on the Epstein list is Thomas Massie. Because if he had any indication, if he had even brushed shoulders with him, like on the street somewhere, I don't think he would be as balls to the wall at this. Like, this guy's like, I know you've got nothing on me, because if there was, he wouldn't be going as hard. I mean, you have Trump, who we knew his name would probably pop up somewhere on the list that supposedly was going balls to the wall, like in rhetoric at least. And then when it came down to, okay, then release it, it's like, oh, yeah, no. And then Thomas Massie's like, because they're like, well, we can't release the files because that's going to implicate everyone. And Thomas Massie's like, not me, I'll do it.
I'm good.
I got this. He's like,
he'll just do it like with a smile on his face. Yep.
Yeah. He's
the
like,
Klux capacitors got this.
Mobile chicken farm around my farm for the last 20 years. I didn't have time to go to no Epstein Island. I don't give a shit about that. Let me do it. Let me be that guy.
It's a beautiful thing, and like I did the mini doc on Massie with Tom Woods, and I didn't know that much about him. I had heard everybody say Thomas Massie's based, he's cool, whatever. I didn't know that much about him, and then I started looking into him, and I'm like, oh, this guy's like mega based. He's like shielded, almost off grid, like, but just goes into Washington whenever he needs to take down some bullshit. Yeah, most people don't. All they know is that Donald Trump and Miriam Adelson and Israel and their PACs are paying literal millions of dollars to make sure that you don't know that Thomas Massie is the most based motherfucker in the entire world. They're trying to convince you that he is like he's a Democrat and he always votes against Republicans. And we played the clip last week where Laura Loomer's journalist attacks him or ambushes him outside of Congress, and they're like, "Hey, why do you always vote Democrat?" And he's like, well, actually, there are two clips. I don't remember which one's which, but there was the one where he's like, I vote for Republicans 91% of the time, and the only time I don't is when it is for like pedophilia, war, and like bloated, stupid budgets and wasted spending. Yeah. And then this week, Laura Loomer's people again attacked him. I could find the clip, but you can find it on your own. But the same guy comes up to Laura Loomer, and it's the same guy. I've never seen his face, don't know who he is, but he's always the same guy because he's got this squeaky voice. He's like, "Hey, Thomas Massie, why are you a Democrat?" And this time, Thomas Massie, I should find this one. Thomas Massie's like, "Your voice is cracking. It sounds like you're on hormone blockers. You might want to get that checked," and just walks away. And I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love this guy more every time he opens his mouth.
Yeah, like
never is the case with politicians.
Well, you remember like the whole sales pitch for Donald Trump was he's a man who speaks his mind. And yeah, we've never heard that in politics, but I remember back in 2016 I posted like, yeah, he's a man who speaks his mind, but what if his mind is retarded? Like, it's fine. I just want him to make sense. And then he started making sense a little bit in this last election, but now he's even more retarded than ever. And so I want a man who speaks his mind and is also a human with nothing to lose or gain at the end of the day, and has all the underdog narrative that got Donald Trump reelected. All the, he got attacked by like all the indictments and all that stuff that we said was, bullshit, that created this underdog story for him, this elitist douchebag with ties to Jeffrey Epstein, and made this underdog story for him. And then he just swung easily back into the White House. And now we've got Thomas Massie, who is an actual underdog Frodo type, who's going up against Mordor and saying, "Fuck you, I'm just going to politely ask you to obey the law that I have forced you to obey and expose the pedophiles and the demons." Thomas Massie is a demon slayer and should be protected at all costs. Craig, any final thoughts? And let's go.
Yeah, last question for you. Final thoughts, last question. What are the chances that this guy gets off?
Who?
Thomas Massie.
Gets off
what? If anybody's going to get offed, not gets
offed, yeah. Protect him at all costs. He is, he knows better than I do the possibilities of that, and he is still choosing to do what he does. So if I had, like, in my conspiratorial brain, if I didn't know anything about him and just saw what he's doing, I'd be like, yeah, he's going to die any minute now. And I will say, hashtag Thomas Massie didn't kill himself, and never would. But he knows his risk, and he's taking it. And so, yeah, like, they got nothing. And I got to believe that it's not all controlled. Like, this is my white pill. I got to believe that it's not all controlled, because we never saw it coming that a polite Kentucky gentleman would just walk into... I mean, he's been in office for a long time, and they've called him a grandstander for a long time, but the amount of pushback to him now and the amount of stuff that he is actually accomplishing, I don't care if he's president. He's doing more than the president for what I voted for the president for. Right. Like, I would love for him to be president, but he's already doing better than Donald Trump was that I voted to be in there on the topics, specific topics that Donald Trump got me to vote for him, like Jeffrey Epstein.
Right. Like Donald. Massie is literally working to drain the so-called swamp that Donald Trump has ran on for now 3 elections.
Yeah.
He's done more to get at least closer to the drain than Donald Trump has.
And all my attacks online are like, he's only been in office for like, I don't know, 2.5 semesters. Like, just let him cook. It's like, but you guys, as soon as Thomas Massie's like, I'm going to do something, you're like, what's taking him so long? It's like he's literally in the process of driving to Washington, D.C. to look at the files and do what nobody else will do. And you guys are like, what's taking him so long? It's like, it's not even his job, and he's going out of his way to do it.
He's like, I'm gonna have to let my chickens be for a week while I go do this.
Good thing I made the Cluck capacitor from my own brain and just logical intelligence. And yeah, my farm can take care of itself, and then I'll just come back here next week. It's fucking madness, and it's quite entertaining to watch. And I think this is history unfolding, way bigger than the Donald Trump getting back. Like, I would have said that was history unfolding based on what Donald Trump was running on. I don't want any new wars. I want the dying to stop. I want the Jeffrey Epstein, the JFK, the MLK, all these files out. Like, that's why I voted for him, because that was supposed to be history. And now we're here a year into the future, and it's not only not happening, he's pushing against any of it happening. We still haven't even gotten the JFK files unredacted fully, or the MLK files, or any of that stuff. None of it. No. And we've got a bunch of new wars, and now we're spending hours and hours talking about why Pam Bondi's a dumb bitch because she's covering up for Donald Trump on the Epstein files that he ran on. Right. It's
like we've got none of his promises fulfilled, and quite the opposite, actually. It's not that he didn't fulfill his promises, it's like he totally did the opposite thing of what he promised.
And then he called you stupid if you wanted him to actually talk about these things. They all did.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you hate America or you hate the Jews if you don't want these wars to continue, or you want Epstein files to be released or something. I don't know why we're anti-Semitic these days, but
it doesn't matter.
Pick one of the reasons. Just throw a dart and you'll hit why we're anti-Semitic these days.
So. Let me bring it back to the Super Bowl to wrap this up. Rabbi Shmuley posted a Super Bowl ad that was anti-Semitic. He posted a Super Bowl that was like about getting rid of anti-Semitism. His big rage.
Rabbi Shmuley's?
No, he posted that ad on his Twitter, and his big issue was that immediately following that ad, there was an ad with a toilet talking. And he was like, how dare they possibly have a toilet talking ad after an ad that's attacking anti-Semitism? Now, take the anti-Semitic talking toilet, set it aside for a second, as stupid as that argument is. If you watch the ad that he's talking about, because I hadn't seen the ad, I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but if you watch the ad, it's a like college or high school kid, and he's got a backpack, and he's got I don't know, like a Post-it note on his backpack, a note that somebody apparently put on it, and it says something. There you go.
It literally says "Dirty Jew."
And what happens after that? Do you remember?
No, I kind of laughed.
Some black boy comes up and takes a blue Post-it note and puts it over that, and then they like bro hug or something, and then the logo comes up and it's like blue square, don't be anti-Semitic or whatever bullshit. It's literally the BLM black square. That's what we're rolling out here. Like, Rabbi Shmuley was like, focus on the anti-Semitic toilet. I'm like, no. This ad alone is like, you guys that are calling us all the woke right, if we oppose like the shit that Israel's doing, that's all that takes. You're calling us the woke right while you guys literally bring out the blue square and say that words are violence. And if you happen to say mean things to people, and then not only say mean things to people, but if there's an ad that promotes not saying mean things to people and there's a toilet talking after it, then that's anti-Semitic too. It's like, guys.
What ad would he have preferred after that moment? Would it have been the Ben Stiller like dancing in his like weird? I don't even remember the movie that was from, but
probably the butt plugs that he sells with his daughter. That would be the ad that he would prefer, because that's real. Look it up.
What?
They sell kosher sex toys to goy. That's a thing. Him and his daughter do, and he's got a book even about why you're wrong to disagree with that.
I wish we would have ended this episode.
Welcome back to the show, Craig.
I wish this episode had cut off 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But I did
Let's
see
go.
that. I did see that ad. I can't. I'm trying to redirect like. But did you see the ad?
But did you see what Merrick Garland said about anti-Semitism?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I did see that, and I just chuckled in my head. I'm like, that's just not happening.
Well,
it's not.
The thing is, like, they even
if
put out
if it was, is sticking a sticky note that says "Dirty Jew" on somebody's backpack. Is that the worst thing that could happen? Is that literally the Holocaust?
It's the Holocaust, yes. The sticky note Holocaust. And yeah, no matter what you think about the ad, like Rabbi Buttplug with his daughter, posted his outrage. That was
it's just like
there was a toilet after it. Who paid probably $5 million to have their talking toilet ad? Like, sorry that you don't get to choose your spot on where you're not even somebody else's anti-Semitic ad runs and who it goes before, who also paid $5 million.
Yes, it's like I could see his outrage if the Super Bowl was like, no, we're not going to run your ad because whatever reason we're pro-Palestine, because I mean it was on NBC, which is one of the most left-leaning news networks out there, and I could see if they're like, no, because we don't support Israel, we don't support killing Palestinians and blah blah blah. I could see him being outraged about that, but they ran his fucking ad. And that still wasn't good enough. It was still anti-Semitic because of where it was placed. It's like they should have known that this should be before. I don't even fucking know what commercial to put it before. Like, I don't. Like, it should have been
BLM,
right after
probably.
the national anthem or something. Like, I don't know what. Like, it's never going to be good enough. There's always going to be a reason. We put an anti-Semitic ad in for you, but it was still deemed anti-Semitic because of where it was located.
They probably get a discount even. I don't know. Whatever. Let's get out of here. Craig, do you want people to find you? I don't even know if I should put your full name in these podcasts anymore, but I enjoy your conversation.
I just don't fucking care. I'm still on Twitter at Break the Bell Pod, even though there is no Break the Bell Pod at the moment. I'm not saying there will never be, because I'm enjoying
Nazi
this, but
fags.
I don't know that I want to put in the work myself, because I'd rather you put in the work.
I get it.
And me just show up and rant.
Quite frankly, between you or Dave or literally anybody that I'm friends with, like I'm just gonna. I have things that I need to rant and get off my chest, and I need somebody else to let me have a breath at some point. So you're welcome whenever you want, and maybe we'll do a threesome sometime and really gay it up. The Illuminati loves that. Maybe we'll not get kicked off for that.
It's never gay in a three-way. That's what I always say.
It's unless the three-way is three men.
Never gay in a three-way.
Let's get out of here. Craig, thanks so much for hanging out. We'll see what next week holds, but we got a lot packed into this 3 hours. And really bringing it back to the roots. I mean, we had a lot of technical bumps and everything, so it's not a 3-hour episode, but I keep trying to do after parties, and it's not that I don't want to do after parties. I would love to talk about how Kid Rock, everybody's saying lip synced, and I have some hardcore thoughts and all of this stuff.
No,
I would love to.
Rock
No,
did not lip sync. Kid Rock didn't.
Go ahead and give him the after party, Craig.
Didn't move his mouth while the freaking words were going, and he was like his own hype man for his own over his own recording. That's what it was. You can't even call that lip syncing, because he wasn't lip syncing. He wasn't lipping.
I disagree. I disagree. And if you want to go longer, Craig, do you need to be done?
I need.
Do you need to be
done?
Yes. Okay. Well, then stop. I'm trying to get out of this, and you're trying to suck me back into it. Quick thoughts. Kid Rock. I can show you a clip. Kid Rock lip syncs half of his songs. He sings a part and then lets the backtrack sing a part, because Kid Rock, it's not that he was lip sync. It's not that it was disjoint in his backtracks and his vocals. It's not that it was pre-recorded. It's not any of these things. It's that Kid Rock sucks at his job, and Kid Rock can't sing his entire song that is his only claim to fame. And Kid Rock is now leeching off of TPUSA, and now he's a Christian. Kid Rock is a Christian. And I've seen people comment like, oh, he just wasn't singing the lines that are morally objectable to his, so he played himself singing it and then sang along to it. Again, I have a rant on this. You go as long as you want, but I'm trying to leave still for the 5th time.
I know. My last thought on Kid Rock, you derailed me, because the biggest takeaway I got from that was Kid Rock being on the Jesus train now, but his opener, regardless of what lines he said, his opener was ba with a ba. It's like, A, it was supposed to be like America first, whatever. B, it's supposed to be like this Christian thing. Because even, who's the, Brantley Gilbert, is that his name?
I have no idea.
Bentley Gilbert, I don't know, the first country guy.
You mean
I only like him.
The red Solo Cup? I wish I could mow my lawn. I wish I could get fish.
He opened up with a pro-America thing. The only reason I like that dude, I don't like that dude. The only reason I like him is because he has Noah Henderson. Do you know who that is?
No.
His guitarist with the freaking dreadlocks is the guitarist from Pillar.
Oh God. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I've met that dude, and he's super cool. And the only reason I know he plays for that guy is because I met him, and he's like, oh yeah, I play for Brantley Gilbert. Now I'm like, oh okay, cool.
Nice.
So I might, anytime that
I only said not because I have anything against him, but because like just you're bringing up. I had no idea these lines were connecting.
Yeah, go back and watch it. Watch Dude in Dreadlock. You'll recognize him right away now. Definitely.
Well, I mean, I had Tom McDonald on the show for several times, and Tom McDonald is like, it's just painful to see people who were like, I'm against the system because I'm against the left, now having to be like, I'm on the Trump train and pray for the left and stuff. And like the whole TPUSA thing, I feel like the anti-halftime show, even the Kid Rock stuff, even for all of its cheese, I feel like a year ago, 2 years ago, I'd be like, hell fucking yeah. Kid Rock launched out of the stage, had an American flag drop down behind him, had fireworks blow off, and he sang a song that we all know. And we were like, rah, rah, America. And that'd be great if I didn't think that, you know, Erica Kirk and TPUSA had something to do with killing Charlie Kirk and creating this whole thing. So now we're like levels deep, and I'm like, I feel like you're both working for the same team, and you're trying to distract all of us from the fact that all of Thomas Massie's stuff, while he's just like, yeah, I think that they might have made an error, and I would like to correct that, and if they don't, I will. Like the Kentucky gentleman is, he doesn't need fireworks. He's just doing things, and they're doing what I would, especially leading up to Trump's administration last time, when it was all like fireworks and like Democrats are coming over, independents are coming over, everybody's supporting this guy. I'm like, fuck yeah. And even some of their propaganda and their ads and stuff with the fireworks and Kid Rock and Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. and Vic Ramaswamy and JD Vance and Donald Trump, I'm like, yeah, that's good art right there. And if this had happened, if this TPUSA halftime show, as much as I don't want to talk about it, but we seem to be, if this had happened a year ago, I'd be like, yes, rah, rah, America. I would defend Kid Rock and be like, yeah, he can't sing his whole song. He's jumping around as an 80-year-old man in jorts on the stage and launching out of the stage and doing something. It's whatever. But
meth will do that to you.
And okay, so the like I would have supported it, but now it's not. And also he cut out a verse of his song and then replaced it with, and then I dusted off my old Bible in my room, and then I gave my life to Jesus. And I'm like, bro, this would have sold so well a year ago, before Charlie Kirk was assassinated or before all of this stuff. Like, yeah, that I hope so. And I've posted about it, like I've quote tweeted it and been like, So we're just going with Kid Rock's Christian now, and I've like the main response from the boomers is like, "Oh, didn't you know he gave his life to Christ a year ago on the Joe Rogan podcast?" And I'm like, okay, so you mean on the campaign trail? Because that's even more suspicious than if it is now, because that's where all the presidents give their life to Christ, is on the campaign trail. And then for this guy to be like in the White House not saying anything about any of the stuff that we talked about, any of the Pam Bondi, Epstein, any of that stuff, any of the problems with his boss, and he's just going to be like, I'm going to go on the TPUSA stage and be like, Jesus. And you know it's true because I'm Kid Rock.
Yes. I mean, yeah, it's all suspicious to me. It's all weird. Very weird. And nobody would have probably expected that Brian Welch from Korn would be like some outspoken like Christian guy now either. But he's also
he didn't do it
not
politically
on
either.
Stage for Donald Trump, saying how Donald Trump is the gift of God to humanity. Like he's just like, dude, bro, I'm a Christian now and I don't do drugs, and yeah, I'm gonna still.
And he's still in Korn. Still just making music.
That music, that's fine. But yeah, I'm a Christian. That's cool. And then there's Kid Rock that's like, I'm a Christian. Donald Trump's Jesus. What is Joe Rogan? His Reverend Billy Graham moment? Was that what that was for him?
Probably.
Because I don't know. That's like where every president. Oh yeah, you know.
There's another guy who's worse than Billy Graham. I don't remember his name. Chat, remind me what his name is. But there's one pastor who's been in like every single presidential campaign. I don't remember. But we need to leave, Craig. Let's go to bed. Let's go away. So we did a show, and then we did the bonus show, which was the actual show, and it's already gone for 2 hours, and the main show was supposed to go for 2 hours. So we've well outstayed our welcome, but thank you all for hanging out. Thank you at MarkMash27, who says, love you guys, but lose the nose ring. Dude, I don't want to be here when you sneeze. Well, you better fuck off then, man, because nose rings stay and sneezes are happening. But Craig, thanks for being here, and thank you all for being here in the chat, and we'll see you all next time with whoever. Until then, question everything, stay uncomfortable, be bad, have fun, and we'll talk to you then. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching. Smash all the like and subscribe buttons, because that's what we say at the end of videos. Good night, everybody.
This concludes our broadcast day.
This has been a Dissident Media production. DissidentMedia.net